I always try to visualize stories happening. And if I can visualize it, then I'll talk about it. I'll predict it. I can't see Aaron Rodgers losing this weekend. And here's why. So I look at all four games, and I mean, it's really good teams, really good coaches, really good quarterbacks, right? But last week, I said going into the weekend, the pressure was on number one, Matt Stafford. He delivered. And number two, Mike McCarthy. And he did not and got clobbered for it. So it kind of validated what we said. We were all kind of waiting for Stafford to win. He did. It was good. It was a non-story then. And McCarthy got hammered for losing. Not Dak necessarily, but McCarthy. So this weekend, let's say Mahomes loses. Well, I mean, how many teams get to 3 straight Super Bowls? We're not going to clobber him for that. And he loses to Josh Allen. Let's say Brady loses. Well, he's 44. He's got 7 Super Bowls. We're not going to spend a lot of time Monday ripping Brady. If Stafford loses, well, he won a playoff game, first year with McVay, won the NFL's toughest division, had the highest fourth quarter passer rating in the NFL. And again, he just won a playoff game. We're not going to crush him for losing to what I believe is a better roster. If Joe Burrow loses or Zach Taylor, haven't they kind of exceeded expectations, honestly? I had them for 4th in the division. I don't think I was alone. If Mike Vrabel and Tannehill lose, I still can't figure out how they're here. They lost Derrick Henry for 2 months. How are they the number 1 seed? But Aaron Rodgers spent the last 6 months needling the Packers front office, vaccines, politicians, the media. There's going to be a lot of people. They're going to want to take a lot of hacks at Aaron if he loses. And by the way, he's 0-3 against San Francisco. But I can't see it. At home, off a bye, Garoppolo's not healthy. Nick Bosa might not be. Fred Warner's limping. Green Bay's finally healthy. I cannot envision Monday's show after Aaron loses Saturday night. I can't. I can't. I can see everything else. I can see Burrow and Jamar Chase going crazy town and then pulling out dramatic win. I can see Stafford and the Rams. If Tristan Wirfs is hurt, right tackle, Tom faces pressure. And, let's be honest, Stafford's been a great second-half quarterback. OBJ, the run game. They've got Cooper Kupp. I can see Buffalo out-dueling Kansas City in a wild shootout and a turnover late in the game. Mahomes' ball comes out of his hands, not even his fault. I cannot see Aaron going 0-4, all that drama, people looking to take hacks at him, and he loses to Jimmy Garoppolo at home. I can't see it. So that is my lock of the week. I don't know the spread, whatever, but I cannot envision that. And so I can't predict it. I remember years ago, Derek Jeter was asked about a hitting slump. And Derek Jeter said, I don't overthink it. And for Derek Jeter, a slump could be 0 for 16 or 0 for 15. And he said, it was some reporter had asked him, and he goes, I just want to go hit the ball hard tonight. Wherever I hit it, I just want to hit it hard. And eventually, if you hit the ball hard a lot, it will find a place on a baseball field and drop in as a hit. We've got analytics all over the place. And in the NBA, everybody's talking about analytics. But so often in the playoffs, it's like, dude, I need a basket. Just Chris Paul, just go get me a basket. And he'll shoot like a 12-footer, which nobody likes anymore. Giannis, just go make a stop. Doesn't have to be a stop and a three-pointer. That sometimes in situations in baseball playoffs, in hitting slumps, in basketball playoffs, in NFL playoffs, we overthink stuff. Troy Aikman, there's a bite out there this morning, and we're not allowed to use it yet. But he's talking about, the quarterback controversy with Dak and that quarterback draw overshadowed the fact that Dak didn't play very well and trailed 23-7 at one point to San Francisco at home. And the Cowboys have the number 1 rated offensive line in the league, according to PFF. So Aikman's quote was, he goes, listen, there was a lot of single coverage on CD Lamb. I hate going back to when I was playing because nobody cares, but with coordinators these days, it's all about schemes rather than that corner's scared to death. Go run the route tree. I'll get the ball to you. He goes, if they would have covered Michael Irvin the way they covered CeeDee Lamb with single coverage, he'd have had 10 catches by halftime. Said Aikman, the game is not that difficult. Okay, if I got a great player at wide receiver and the corner's on him not as good in single coverage, throw him the ball. He's going to win most of the time. And I think that does bring up a concern. So Dak Prescott's offensive line is rated number 1 in the league to the people who grade the offensive line. You're at home. You have CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper. Dalton Schultz is going to be a free agent. He's going to make a lot of money. They won't keep him. Cedric Wilson, good backs. Dak averaged under 6 yards per attempt. That's with the 2 best 49er players out. Nick Bosa, out. Fred Warner, hurt, at home. So at some point, we talk about all this and that, McCarthy, you got to make plays. Dak Prescott against non-divisional opponents this year. He wasn't terrible, but he was just solid. 11 games, he was 5-6. 66% completion, fine. Burrow down the stretch has been 75. 21 TDs, 8 picks, nothing to be embarrassed about. Passer rating, the new standard is 100. He's at 95. If you look at Dak versus playoff teams this year, and this is really interesting. Against the Eagles, he's unbelievable. He's Joe Montana. He completes 80% of his throws, 8 TDs, no picks, passer rating, in that Brady, Burrow, Mahomes when you're hot. But against the other playoff teams, it's really ordinary. 1-5, 92 passer rating, 12 touchdown, 5 picks. And again, that's with the number 1 graded offensive line, above average tight end production, good backs. I don't think Zeke is nearly what he used to be, but he and Pollard are above average and excellent wide receiver talent. So remember, outside of Zach Martin, they got to get a new tackle. They're getting worse at tackle, not better. Zeke, probably at some point they move him in the offseason because of his cost. At some point, you can get out of the Amari Cooper contract now, and it's not nearly the cap hit. They're not going to re-sign Michael Gallup because he's coming off a major injury, and they're not going to be able to keep Schultz the tight end because he's too good and too expensive. So with all this stuff, Dak, we got a trend here about 3 years, has been pretty ordinary against teams not named the Giants, the Washington football team, or the Eagles. And so it doesn't mean he can't play. That's not, but he's been surrounded here in the first 4 or 5 years with really good stuff. Now, the good news is the Cowboys draft pretty well. Can they find a Micah Parsons on offense? Can they go get another great wide receiver? I mean, CeeDee Lamb was a good pick. People criticized it. I didn't get it. It was a great pick. They found Michael Gallup. I didn't watch him play in college. Amari Cooper move was smart. So the Cowboys do some things really well, other things not really well, but they do draft a lot of playmakers, and they deserve credit for that. But, you start looking at that game, the quarterback draw got all the heat, and McCarthy got all the heat. Dak didn't play well. With all those weapons, down 23-7. And that's out. Bosa's out. Warner's out. Garoppolo kind of let you back in. Or you had a chance to get... If Garoppolo doesn't throw that interception, that game could have been a rout. Like that, it would have looked really bad. That final scoreboard would not have been tight. If Garoppolo didn't butcher that 4th and inches, not letting Trent Williams get set, you don't have a quarterback controversy, but you never get the ball back. So... that's where we stand. We'll try to get you the Aikman bite, but I think he does bring up an interesting point. When you get to situational football, nothing against analytics, but Kawhi Leonard would get me a bucket and get me a stop. I don't care about threes. That's what I want. Say what you want about LeBron. He's still defensively, if you need a stop, LeBron's really good. He's still really good in the defensive end. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.